All right. Hey there, everyone. Bobby D here with Inspire Hearts and Virtual Event Fundraising. I'm really excited to have my good friend, Trevor Nelson with HEA Fundraising with me today. Now, Trevor and I, we've worked with, it's probably close to 100 events now, having you help our nonprofits and provide them with some great low-cost travel. So, Trevor, thanks for being with me today.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I can't thank you enough for always thinking of us and you and Erin both being so kind to us all the time. And thanks for the audience. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. So
Right on,
we
man.
have the time. We have the time.
That's right. We're connecting. I mean, you're in California and I'm here in New York. So let's chat.
And we might not see each other anytime soon, but
it's all good. But now we can see each other every day if we want.
No, in person. I mean, yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me.
Well, Trevor, so tell me now, you've been with HEA Fundraising, for quite a few years now. What sets you apart in the kind of the marketplace? I mean, there's a lot of people that are providing travel for nonprofits for them to sell within their auctions or different ways. But what sets apart HEA Fundraising from the rest of the crowd?
Yeah, well, we founded. I'm one of the co-founders, and we founded the company based on the premise that there weren't low-cost travel options available. We come from a travel background. Really did not know the scale and scope of the space when we got involved. Obviously, I think that's great actually, because we didn't come into it blindly. But naivete is a gift. It can be blissful, and for us it was. And just always setting ourselves apart based on cost. From there, providing unparalleled customer service obviously is huge. We're dealing with a multitude of different clients, right? As far as the layers are concerned, the nonprofits, working with consultants such as yourself, and then of course, most importantly, the donors. Our approach has been very, very simple. Offer destinations that have mass appeal. These are not once in a lifetime experiences. We're the opposite. However, we coexist. As you know, we coexist with items like that, whether they're donated or procured or whatnot. And our approach, once again, has always been mass appeal. These are destinations that people are going to. What has evolved is the fact that with these low-cost items, we're allowing more donors to get involved in the bidding process. Nice. and support the causes that they're obviously out to support and that are important to them. From there, everything else is really unfolded organically, and obviously, creating great relationships with folks like yourself and Erin and whatnot.
Nice.
Has helped tremendously. Yeah. So
awesome. So I like the idea of more inclusiveness versus auctions are very exclusive. And especially if you have like a once in a lifetime thing, there might be a very small market base for that. It might be like one or two or three, maybe 5 people at a giant event, or now we're, doing these virtual events where there might just be a few people that would be interested in that. But the items that you provide, the travel experiences do have, a broad appeal. Like what, kind of give us some examples of what these broad appeal items are, just so the nonprofits kind of have a better idea.
Absolutely. So number one, we really hit it out of the park with all-inclusive items, just turnkey items. And these are places and destinations and trips that guys like you and me are already taking. You know what I mean? I kind of consider myself to just be a normal guy. I've got a couple kids at home. My wife and I like to go, to an all-inclusive resort where everything's turnkey. We took that ideology and created all these items. So, Cabo San Lucas, Costa Rica, we're heavily weighted in the Caribbean and Mexico, do a lot of business in Las Vegas, Lake Tahoe, Maui, stuff like that. And we have some, we have some very, very low cost items overseas with some partners in Italy as well that we've introduced recently. Obviously they're getting hit very, very hard right now, and our hearts go out to them. They're very, very sweet people, but I don't have any problem believing, once again, that a dream destination is a dream destination. It doesn't have to be a once in a lifetime thing. It can be affordable. Also, at the same time, as you're seeing like a trajectory over time, just in the travel space, with the people's opinion of luxury is not dropping as far as expectation, just overall. Right. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a $5,000 a night hotel for it to be an experience that someone cherishes for a long time. So But TV and I did very, very popular places. You know what I mean? That people don't really have to scratch their head to go, oh, where is that?
Right. Like you like pretty much checked off all of my favorite places in the world. So I was like, I would go on any of those.
No, totally. And we're not here to convince anyone that they need to go to Mexico or whatnot, or need to go to Las Vegas or the Caribbean or whatnot. It's if you are already going, and the fact of the matter is these are world-class destinations as far as tourism is concerned. Right. As far as sheer numbers, I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. And I fully expect all those destinations to be very, very popular moving forward. But yeah, and then once again, though, not disparaging those once in a lifetime items. We just, like I said, coexist with them. They're going to get a couple bidders. Maybe we'll get 30 bidders,
Right.
and the nonprofit can take a $1,200 product and double their money multiple times over. That's the whole reason why we built what we did.
Yeah, and we've done that quite a few times, together with, live auctions in which, you do right. You get a lot of people that are interested in that, and all of a sudden it turns into an Oprah moment. And all of a sudden you're going to Cabo, you're going to Cabo,
Totally.
and you hand out like 10 of those, and now
Yeah.
you've created, engaged donors within the, within that audience. And now they're coming into the nonprofit, and they're going to take a great trip, and they're going to tie that with the brand, of the nonprofit. So then that accentuates that relationship as well. And your customer service and the team that you have is always been super helpful, super on the spot, and making sure that everybody is well taken care of. So that's something that I've seen with working with HEA in providing, these types of experience for nonprofits. So
thank you.
Trevor,
Appreciate that.
I want to ask, what are you seeing now as everyone is making this kind of evolution, towards what I'm calling Plan V, the virtual world? What are you seeing out there with some of your nonprofit partners?
Yeah, and you and I have had this discussion. You're at the forefront of a lot of these things because I know you're not averse or to new and tech and driving this engine, which I think is awesome. I'll go back and I'll say I think that this has been on the horizon. Obviously, a lot of our partnerships dictate that, whether we're the one of the smartest people in the room or not, has really nothing to do with it. We're embracing the idea that this was coming regardless. Out of necessity, now even more so. You can take necessity and push the accelerator even more. So we're seeing a lot of this, but there were so many new options to work an online auction moving forward for so many different nonprofits. They could just kind of add that to it's like a pie, right? If you will, of different opportunities. Now, out of necessity, folks are facing this challenge where they need to go virtual, and we're seeing a lot of that, of course, firsthand. And a part of it, if you're curious about, what we're seeing as far as how our items are being used and whatnot. Yeah. So 3 different ways. Obviously, a raffle subset of that would be like a golden ticket raffle. We've seen a lot of success with that, where folks are buying, $100 raffle tickets and whatnot. They're announcing the winner online, obviously, during the event, which is really exciting, super exciting, right? And virtual and inclusive and what have you, and easy to manage. And then the advent of the buy it now pricing for a lot of items, especially low cost items, where it's easy to digest the price point, and I'm not going to buy it now for $10,000, right? So having a digestible price point where people can, someone's not in the room explaining it to them, right? It's done virtually. So it's a little bit different and not more difficult, but it's nice to have low cost approaches there. And that's been working very, very well for a lot of our partners. And then of course, the virtual live, having an item and then getting the juices going that way has worked tremendously. So we've seen those three different approaches work really, really well. And I don't foresee they're going away.
Right. No, I think it's going to get bigger. I mean, people, they will. I mean, they will travel again. So it's having that option there to create kind of a win-win, for everybody. A win for the donor. I mean, they're going to travel. Why not create a win for the nonprofit? Let them, make some, some profit off of that, and then, win for everybody to be like, here, let's make this, let's truly make this happen and make it just super easy. Like click, boom, then they're done with that.
I think that naturally a lot of steps are being removed right through this process, and what we're seeing and how you're navigating and everyone's navigating through this time. I don't think that everyone always sees it that way, that this is actually a little bit easier or a nice addition to an event strategy that is 365 days a year, right? But it truly is removing a lot of steps. Once we convince people that's the case, then I think people are going to warm up to it, and you're already seeing that firsthand. So and that's the conversation that I'm always trying to project or have with nonprofits is like, okay, an event is like one day out of 365 days. It's I call it the 365 degrees of fundraising. Is that okay? You have an event, it happens. Now, what's that conversation that goes, between, that, and then another event happens, whether it's an actual event or, something that happens virtually or maybe direct mail, whatever. And then it goes again and again and again and again. But it's
creating, like you say, some type of buy it now where it lives on the website all the time, and they
Yeah.
can be fundraising 24/7, 365, and
Yeah.
creating that opportunity for donors to then purchase their travel through the nonprofit.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then obviously all the synergy that can be created with when you're promoting events like this through
Yeah,
different social channels. And let's just say
totally.
like a school, is doing an event for 3 weeks, and they're sharing with the aunts and uncles and the grandparents and whatnot about how they can donate to their, grandchildren's school or what, these are just examples. But yeah, I think the sharing of these different online platforms is going to be something that's going to really take off as well.
Right, right.
And
That's
yeah,
a
you're absolutely correct.
I love that idea with yeah, okay, so maybe there's a school, like,
Yeah,
here in New York, and then, you're my kid's uncle out in California, and you're
yeah,
like, hey, I want to go to Maui. Oh, wow, okay, there's this opportunity to help
yeah,
my kid's school, or my
mm,
nephew's school in New York. I'm here in
yeah,
California, but I want to go to Maui. So then it just kind of really creates that connection and then broadens
yeah.
that scope out there in the
The
world.
exposure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a simple share from the parents of the school at the school with the uncle on Facebook or via text or what have you. So that's easy. Yeah. I think it's
Right
super,
on.
super easy. And yeah, yeah. Oh, I've seen that firsthand. So those aren't original to me. Those
Right
ideas.
on. No, no,
The
I love
success
that. And
stories are there. I'm cataloging the success stories, So
well, and it's those type of success stories that we need to share, especially for our nonprofits that are watching. There's a lot of fear. There's, some hesitancy with like, is this going to work? We've always done the silent
hmm
auction. We've always done the
yeah,
live auction at a live event. And like, will
yeah,
this work? And you're showing that it is working, and nonprofits are doing
sure.
this to raise money.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Yeah, once again, a lot of them out of necessity because you did remark that events are super vital to certain organizations, all
Absolutely.
organizations, but some of them even more than others, where it could be 50% of their revenue for an entire year, right? So they have to pivot and go this direction. But there are some wonderful case studies out there and plenty of success stories to share, and it'll speak to everyone. Yeah, the,
Totally.
the the net the net is wide enough for sure.
Yes, yes, and that's what we're all talking about. Is like, how do we cast that net into a much larger sea versus
hmm
the small little dot that is, maybe, a central
Right,
United States, but then how do you,
right.
really put that net out there into nationwide and sometimes even globally, which is really
Absolutely.
exciting for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what's
Right on.
happened. Sharing. That's all. That's what it's going to take
Sharing,
for
that's what
sure.
we do, because sharing is caring, right?
100%. 100%.
Right on, man.
I know
Well,
you
good.
adopted that. Yeah,
Well, good. Well, Trevor, I want to thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today.
my
Friends,
pleasure.
if you want to reach out to Trevor and HEA Fundraising, I'm going to put the links below. And they're
Thank
always
you.
doing some great giveaways. I know that you're a big proponent about, making sure that nonprofits have an exceptional experience when they work with
Mm,
HEA Fundraising. So
hmm
please, friends, reach out to Trevor, and he's going to help you any way that I absolutely can. So, Trevor, thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure, man. Thanks again for having me and always being so open to rapping. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Say hi to Erin.
I will for sure. And
All
my
right.
friends that are out there in the nonprofit world, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. What you do matters. You are changing the world, and it obviously needs some changing. So continue to do that. Continue to be awesome, and let's make this happen together. Again, my name is Bobby D with Inspire Hearts and Virtual Event Fundraising. Continue to go out, have a great day, and happy fundraising. All right, bye everyone.
Thank you.